Hey, this is Stu Schaefer, and I'm about to explain how to use carbs to lose weight. And I know this sounds really weird, so you're definitely going to want to watch because I'm going to explain how you can eat carbs to lose weight, the mistakes people make, the different types of carbs that not many people tell you about. You're going to be a carb expert in just a few minutes. But first, let me show you what I mean. I worked with a gal named Marcia, and when Marcia came to me, she had been doing low-carb, ketogenic diets for the last, 5 or 7 years. Now, she had worked with some of the top expert doctors and influencers in the keto space. And what happened was, like so many people, she lost weight initially, and then that weight loss stopped. And she couldn't lose anymore. In fact, she slowly started gaining back. Now, once we added carbs back, and I'm not kidding, Marcia was able to lose 19 pounds, and she's still going at the time I'm recording this. She's still going strong, losing weight. Her energy went through the roof. She feels better than she has in about 10 or 15 years, and she absolutely loves it because she doesn't have to restrict anymore. So what happened? Well, look, here's the problem is everyone thinks that carbs cause insulin spikes, and that causes you to store fat. So they say, don't eat any carbs. Then you'll never get an insulin spike and you won't gain any fat. This isn't exactly true. If you eat the wrong kinds of carbs and you don't eat them at the right time and you don't combine them with the right food, then yes, you can absolutely cause insulin spikes and that will cause you to store fat. So the problem with carbs is that people are eating the wrong ones at the wrong time, and they're not combining them with the correct foods. And when you do that, yes, they can cause you to store fat. However, big difference. When you do it correctly, carbs can actually help you burn fat. Now, why is that? Well, there's two main reasons. The first reason is that every food, and there's three main types, right? There's proteins, carbs, and fats. Every type of food, those three types, they have something called a thermogenic effect or a fat burning effect. Now, protein has the highest. Okay, yeah. Everyone loves protein. Okay, fat has almost none, so it does not really help you burn fat. Carbs have the second highest. And so that's reason number one. Reason number two, they help stimulate your thyroid and help certain organs convert T4 to T3, which also indirectly will stimulate your metabolism. So carbs are very important, and when you know how to use them and you use the right ones, they will absolutely help you burn fat. Woo! All right, so let's get into this. Well, what do you do? Well, like I said earlier, one of the most important pieces is you've got to combine the right foods together at each meal. Now, if you're interested in what does that mean? Combination of foods. Different foods will go to different parts of your body. So you want to know how that works. I'm going to splash a little video up here. You can click on this and learn all about the combination of foods at each meal. So take a look at that. The combination of foods will determine the chemical reaction in your body, and that will really determine if you're going to store fat or burn fat. This is critical. The second piece is the timing. Look, okay, here's the video I made all about timing and how your body changes throughout the day. So take a look at that video. You've got to time your foods correctly. Your body changes through the day. Your metabolic rate changes. Your insulin resistance changes. Your thyroid the hormones will change. Your cortisol will change. All sorts of changes take place naturally. Okay, we have a sleep cycle, the whole deal. Your cortisol changes. All these things change. So if you time your meal correctly with the way your body changes, with the type of activity that you're doing, this is also a huge factor. And you can eat a lot of different types of carbs. You could even get away with sugar. I remember I was working with a client named Stephanie, who's a doctor, by the way, and she was doing a high-fat ketogenic diet. And when she came to me, she said, hey, I can't do this anymore. I'm suffering in the gym. I don't have the energy. My body's getting worse. I'm losing all my muscle tone. What's going on? We increased her carbs. And by the way, we even worked in little Swedish fish, the candy, a little bit of chocolate bar here and there, but we timed it correctly. And what happened with Stephanie is she was able to lose weight. Her stomach got completely flattened. She toned up like crazy, and she started hitting PRs in the gym, got all her energy back. It was fantastic. So that's how it works. let's talk about the types of carbs today, because this is going to be really critical for you to understand. Geez, you know, there's 16 different types of carbs. So let's look at this. Let's look at this chart here. So there's 4 categories of how complex a carb is. You have simple to complex. Simple is called a monosaccharide. And then you have, that means one glucose molecule or fructose molecule or galactose. So we have fructose, glucose, and galactose. Those are types of sugars. Who knew? Okay, the second type is disaccharides. Di meaning 2. They got 2 bonds, 2 molecules. Now it could be 2 fructose, 2 glucose, 2 galactose, or combinations. Okay. Then you have something called oligosaccharides. Oligo. This is like 3 to 10. Now, bonds, 3 to 10 bonds. And then polysaccharides are what are considered the most complex. These are hundreds or thousands of different glucose molecules, all bonded together like a ball chain. Okay. Now, there's also down here, by the way, gluten and grains, and then non-gluten and non-grains. So these are why there's so many different types of carbohydrates, and they're all going to create different chemical reactions in your body. Let's take a look. Okay, so if you eat a monosaccharide, that would mean it's pure glucose, pure fructose, pure galactose. Generally, that's going to cause an insulin spike because it breaks down really quickly and it goes into the blood. Maybe. This is interesting because you see, fructose and galactose, they don't go straight into the blood. Glucose goes straight into the blood. Fructose and galactose actually go to your liver. So they actually don't cause a blood sugar spike. Wow, that's interesting. Now, disaccharides, there's 2 main ones that you and I are going to be getting, aside from something like table sugar. Okay, now these would be fruit and dairy. Fruit and dairy. These have natural sugars in them. The sugars in dairy are called lactose, and then the fruit have a mixture of fructose and glucose. Okay, this is called sucrose, by the way, and that's also what they do how they make table sugar, is they blend fructose and glucose. Okay, now fruit sugars are some fructose and some glucose, and different fruits have a different mixture. Dairy has glucose and galactose. Well, why does this matter? Because some people will say, oh, if you're trying to lose weight, don't eat any sugar. Don't eat any sugar, don't eat any simple sugars. But you know what? These fruit and dairy sugars don't all go into the blood, and a lot of them go into the liver, and that's what helps feed the liver so it can convert more T4 into more T3 and speed up your metabolism. So in that regard, those carbs can actually help speed up your metabolism. Wow. Now, not all fruit is created equal. Not all dairy is created equal. You need to eat the right types, and you still need to combine those things with the right foods. These 2 things, and time them correctly, these 2 things don't go away. Now, oligosaccharides, examples of these would be beans and lentils, and anything where they've broken it down and put it back together. So breads and pastas and things like this. And polysaccharides would be the most complex, things like rice, sweet potato, okay, these types of things that you would think of when you think of some of the carbs. Now, vegetables, I don't even categorize those as carbohydrates. Those are in their own unique category. So we're not talking about things like lettuce or broccoli or cauliflower or any of these types of things. We're talking about starchy carbs, okay, the real carbs, you know what I mean, the good ones. So this is it. Now, here's the interesting thing about oligo and polysaccharides. These are only glucose. So even though they're complex, they're made entirely of glucose, and glucose is the type of sugar that goes straight into the bloodstream and doesn't go into the liver. So it enters the blood more quickly, and actually these have a higher impact on your blood sugar than some of these disaccharides, believe it or not. This is where things get a little counterintuitive. Plus, when you're eating something like fruit, these have natural vitamin compounds, phytonutrients. They have a bunch of different things all together that also blunt the blood sugar spike when you eat something like fruit. It's a lot of fruit that has skins, like apples, and you eat the skin, that has fiber. That will blunt the response. And this is why when someone eats carbs and they go, well, carbs make you fat. No, they don't. If you're eating the wrong kind and you're not combining it correctly or timing it, this is when carbs cause you to gain weight. So generally, you do want some fruit. If you can do dairy, some people can and some people can't, a little bit of the sugar from dairy can be helpful for your liver as well. And then you do want some polysaccharides. You shouldn't limit yourself to only one type of carb, but the key is polysaccharides are more attuned to feeding your muscles. So these would be are better suited to time them around activity when your muscles are going to use them. These fruit and dairy carbs, well, these maybe are more attuned to feeding your liver and keeping your thyroid levels higher. These might be more attuned to more towards the earlier part of the day. If you're not sure about that, just we'll splash the video up about the timing again at the end of this video. But you've got to time them right. Now, the other piece is you've got to combine these with the right foods. You have to. And you have to make sure that you're eating a complete meal. This is what will really level out everything when it comes to insulin. But more importantly than that, these carbs, when you combine them with the right foods, will actually act as little catalysts or things that create a chemical reaction that will cause your body to shuttle the food into your muscles rather than your fat cells and your liver, of course. Now think about this. If you're eating the food and the food you eat goes to your muscles and liver and none of it really makes it to the fat cells, you're going to tap into those fat sources, that stored fat, a lot faster. And this is how you can lose body fat and lose weight without restricting calories. Because the calories you're eating now are going to different places in the body, not to your fat cells. I hope this is helpful. Now, on the next video, we're going to talk about why does weight loss get harder? Sometimes you'll do a diet and you see initial weight loss, but then it gets harder. As you get older, sometimes you'll notice all of a sudden it gets harder to lose weight. We're going to explain why that is and how to reverse that. That's going to be on the next video. We're going to splash it up on the screen here. You should see a video all about the combinations. You should see the video all about why things get harder and how to reverse that. So I'll see you there on the next video. All right, take care.